I've never traded the wheel strategy as much as I did in 2025. And here are some of my favorite stocks that I traded, as well as the ones I'm going to keep running the wheel strategy on in 2026. But before we jump into those, guys, I just want to wish every single one of you a happy new year. 2025 was an incredible year for me and my family, and I'm so excited to go into 2026, especially with this incredible community that we are building here. So every single person that drops a comment down below is going to get our 2026 wheel strategy guide. So if you want that completely for free, no strings attached, just drop a comment down below on today's video. And if you enjoy this sort of content, it really helps if you hit that like button and that subscribe button. But guys, today, let's get into it, right? We're going to be talking about some of the top setups that I've really got into in 2026 or in 2025, and I'm going to continue to really milk as much as I can in 2026. And honestly, since I started this channel around really, I think literally January, February of last year, I've never traded as much as I have been previously. But with that said, I have done a bunch of different trades, a bunch of setups, lots of dividend paying stocks. You guys already know I love selling options on boring dividend payers because I'm double dipping with my covered call premiums as well as my dividend stocks. But I also kind of branched out into some more, riskier plays, so to speak, and cheaper kind of wheel strategy stocks to get the adrenaline flowing a little bit here with very small position sizings, of course. And I want to share some of those that I'm going to continue to sell options on, especially in 2026 with you. Obviously, the first one that we're going to quickly get out of the way is probably my most traded stock, I think, of all time, especially in a span of a few months, 6 months or so, probably more actually. But I have traded and ran the wheel strategy on really covered strangles on SoFi weeklies. I'm doing covered calls and cash secured puts that expire on the same day, and really threading the needle and just collecting premium on both sides, not really caring if I get assigned either way. If I get assigned, fantastic, because I love the stock. If I sell the stock, fantastic. I lock in real gains and I move on, right, and just buy some more shares. And for me, the covered strangle really is perfect for SoFi, and I'm going to continue to ride this volatility as long as it really lets me, especially into 2026. Now, I do also monthlies on SoFi, actually a lot of monthly cash secured puts on this. I've only been assigned a few times, which is absolutely crazy. But with SoFi, again, my primary strategy with SoFi that I'm going to keep running, that I have been here. I've done many videos on the covered strangle. I'm going to continue doing that with SoFi, and especially looking into with volatility. Obviously, the past 2 weeks, there's not been much juice to squeeze really with the holidays and New Year's, right? Really, we're not going to see like good trading until really, I would say, until Monday. Obviously, we'll see what the market gives us tomorrow on the 2nd, but let's just be real. It's probably still going to be where the VIX is under 15. There's low volatility. I'm not going to rush any trading until I'm rewarded with higher volatility. Obviously, get more premiums because of that. With that said, next one I've traded a decent amount this year. Also, a cheaper wheel strategy stock that I really dove more into this year was Fiverr. I've had a decent amount, quote unquote success rate to me. With running the wheel strategy, I think all of us have different definitions of what like success rate actually means, like, because honestly, like if I'm selling puts on Fiverr and I like want to get assigned at 19 and I'm selling puts, if I get assigned at 19, okay, fantastic, that's a win technically, right? Because I wanted to get in at a better price and I wanted the stock anyway. But then also the win rate can also be considered like, hey, I didn't have to get assigned at 19 because it stayed above 19 at my at the expiration date. All right, fantastic. So like that's why it's hard to say like win rate with Ark Options Strategy and the wheel strategy, because in my opinion, if you're selling puts on good quality companies that you want to own anyway, is it really a loss if you get assigned? I don't know. I feel like for me, I'm not always, even though I'm a premium chaser through and through, right? I love hitting the juice button. But with that said, I want to get assigned good companies, because covered calls and appreciation profits, even though you might trigger a taxable event, still you're getting a lot more gains than only just focusing on the premium. But with that said, Fiverr is a setup that I'm going to continue to kind of ride this downtrend on. We are still well below the 2 and 300-day moving averages. The premiums are pretty decent here. And what I've been doing is I've been playing a lot closer to the money here with Fiverr. Let's see. Obviously, we're not going to see like actual live data here, but let's go take a look at what our put premiums are. We'll just go out like a 15-day one. Yeah, we're not even going to be able to see really much here. Where we've got like 20. The bid ask is probably pretty large here, so around $30 of premium collected. But yeah, guys. Also, I'm not gonna go through all of these setups and put them all into my cash secured puts. Obviously, go do your own research on the companies I'm talking about. Never get financial advice from YouTubers, right? Make sure you go do your own research on stocks and build your own high conviction watch list. But if you want my trade lock template here, absolutely key to keep yourself organized, as well as my premium calculators for both cash secured puts and covered calls. Click that first link in the description of today's video. That's our Ark Options Strategy workshop. It's 90 minutes long. It's going to show you how to take the wheel strategy to the next level. Plus, at the end, I'm going to give you all of my calculators here completely for free here. But next stock that I've traded a decent amount that I'm going to continue to do a lot, and the premiums actually have kind of really thinned out a bit, obviously, especially now. But I have been having a blast. Really, the last half of the year selling puts here on Snapchat have had a good amount of mixture of assignment and not assignments, which is part of it, right? Like part of the wheel strategy is getting assigned on both ends. Otherwise, you're not running the wheel strategy. You're just selling puts and hoping you don't get assigned, or you're just selling covered calls hoping you don't get assigned. That's not the wheel strategy, nor is it the Ark Options way, in my personal opinion. But we are seeing, we're going to see how Snapchat tests this 200-day moving average. Are we going to see some resistance here at that 200-day moving average? Right now, there were some great put opportunities over the last 6 months here, and really kind of just playing this volatility with Snapchat, right? Selling our cash secured puts at the bottom, Bollinger Bands, getting in and out after a few days. I mean, this is one that I literally played here. I played literally all of these big jumps here over the last 6 months, especially on that big drop that we saw here in August, and ever since then really was focusing on it throughout the summer, and then just playing that volatility assignments a few times, selling more cash secured puts, DCAing in, and then getting my covered calls in and assignments along the way. And I've just been playing it really a lot here. I've been doing a lot of 7s and 750s, not really doing 8 puts on it. That was a little too high risk in my opinion. But what we're expecting, with here, I'm expecting that we're going to see a decent amount of resistance here at our 200-day moving average, and we should see a pullback towards that 750-ish level, where I'll be looking again at $7 puts. And for me, I do like Snapchat. I'm still very bullish on fundamentals, maybe not the best by any means, but I'm still fairly bullish on Snapchat, and so I'm going to continue to trade this in 2026, and we're still below the 300-day moving average of $9, and the premiums are just really nice. Obviously, a more higher risk stock in my opinion, but still a great stock. Like I call this a training wheel stock, and that leads me to the next one is American Airlines. Okay, whenever I see opportunities with American Airlines, I'm jumping on it. This was my first training wheel stock when I started getting into the wheel strategy many years ago, and I always was looking for a cost-effective stock to get into, right? The last thing I would say you should do is, if you've never sold options before, is go dump 6 figures on something, even if you're doing like a weekly SPY wheel. Probably not a good idea, okay? Probably not a good idea, right? Learn, right? Get your training wheels going, right? Allocate $2,000-$3,000 on a good quality company that's maybe under $2,000 or under $20 a share. That way, if you get assigned, you got the cash to buy 100 shares. I don't know. It just seems like a logical approach to me. But American Airlines, I've played it a decent amount over the past year. Not as much recently, though, because it's had a nice big run up. And this is kind of how I play this game, guys, is I really always want to be selling my puts under my 2 and 300-day moving averages if I can. Like if I go to American Airlines options chain right now, I'm not going to see anything. There's not going to be any sort of life to be seen at the 13 levels here. I mean, there may be something if we go out, like let's say even 36 days, let's see even the 13s, like $12, right? Like that's not, I mean, the bid-ask spread is pretty wide. Let's say 15. Let's toss this in. Let's see $15 we're locking up, 1300. I mean, it's just Whoops, I'm on my cash to get covered call. Listen, guys, it's New Year's, okay? We're all still recovering from last night a little bit. At least I am. But let's see. We're collecting, let's just say, around $15 of premium on this one right here. We're locking up $1,300 on it. 1% return. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy in my personal opinion. I wouldn't take that trade. I just would not take that trade ever, especially with it being 36 days to expiration. What do we got? 36 days out. I mean, that's just crazy, right? No, like what's the point? Why would I do that? That's just not a good play. And again, this is why you kind of have to be patient when you're selling options and building your watch list. You guys constantly hear me say that about selling options. You have to build a watch list that you believe in and research those companies. Look at your good quality setups. Let them come to you, right? Because they are your companies that you believe in anyway. And then get into them when the opportunities present themselves. And when the opportunities aren't there, why am I chasing? Me, I don't chase. Like, I love American Airlines. I would love to sell puts on this right now, but I'm not going to be getting assigned at selling 15 puts right now on American Airlines and then stuck holding the bag if we get a nice downtrend here, right? Look how long this thing has been under 15. I'm going to wait for the pullback to the 2 and 300 day moving average, which hopefully happens. And I want to be selling puts at like 12 or honestly at 11 or 10, ideally, if that comes, right? But we'll see. Obviously, this is still one that I'm always going to monitor. One of my favorite, when people talk to me about like cheaper wheel strategy stocks, American Airlines is one of my favorite cheaper wheel strategy stocks. And Arista, just, you know what? I've talked about this one. I always say this is like the channel stock, right? I wouldn't say a love-hate relationship with Arista, but it gets the blood pumping over this past year, especially riding this wave down, riding the wave up, riding the wave down, and kind of just in the middle right now. But I am expecting for Arista to hit all-time highs again. We're really just literally right down the middle, 50 on the RSI. We are a little bit above are decently above our 2 and 300 day moving averages. I'm going to continue to want to sell covered calls on Arista and see where that continues to take me, and on the downtrends and kind of riding these down with the cash secured puts and taking assignments and then selling my covered calls on it. Arista is definitely more of a company for me that you can lump it into like speculative hype, blah blah blah. But for me, it's one of my most high conviction, top 5 high conviction stocks. I wish it paid a dividend to really fit the Ark Options mold that I love, right? I want dividend paying stocks, but sometimes, those dividend payers, guys, the unfortunate reality is those premiums aren't really juicy for us option sellers. So I do like to mix in some of these more volatile stocks that I am collecting a lot more premium, and especially on a stock that I really, really like, guys. So if you want to get into selling options in 2026 and you want these free bonuses for yourself, attend the Ark Options Strategy Workshop today. At the end of it, you're getting my full trade lock template to keep yourself nice and organized, plus my 2 premium calculators. Remember, guys, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I will see y'all tomorrow.